What if one of the healthiest eating patterns in the world doesn't actually require an expensive grocery bill? For years, the Mediterranean diet has been associated with heart health, better overall diet quality, and a focus on minimally processed foods. But there's a problem many Americans run into. When they hear Mediterranean diet, they picture expensive olive oil, fresh seafood, specialty grains, and a refrigerator full of produce. The reality is very different. You can build a Mediterranean-style grocery cart around some of the cheapest foods in the store. And some of them may already be sitting in your kitchen. The Mediterranean diet isn't really a strict menu or a list of foods you're forbidden to eat. It's an overall eating pattern built around vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans and other legumes, nuts and seeds, healthy fats, and regular seafood, while limiting red and processed meats, added sugars, and highly processed foods. The American Heart Association describes this pattern as a flexible approach to healthy eating, and recent research continues to connect Mediterranean-style eating with cardiovascular and metabolic health. So where do you start if you're trying to eat healthier without watching your grocery bill explode? One of the biggest answers is surprisingly simple: beans. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, pinto beans and other varieties can provide protein, fiber, potassium, magnesium and iron, while also being incredibly versatile. Canned beans are convenient, while dried beans can be even cheaper and can sit in your pantry for a long time. And replacing some meat-based meals with beans or other legumes is very much in line with the Mediterranean-style approach recommended by heart health experts. Then there's peanut butter, which might not sound like a Mediterranean superstar at first. But peanuts provide protein, fiber and mostly unsaturated fats, and peanut butter can be an inexpensive way to add those nutrients to your meals. The key is to look beyond the marketing. You don't necessarily need an expensive organic or premium jar. A basic option with a simple ingredient list can do the job, especially when you're shopping on a budget. And here's where the value gets even more interesting: lentils. They're one of those foods that can quietly transform an inexpensive meal into something much more filling. Lentils provide plant-based protein and fiber, and unlike many dried beans, they cook relatively quickly. Throw them into soup, combine them with rice, add them to a salad, or build an entire meal around them. The American Heart Association specifically lists lentils and other legumes among affordable plant-based protein choices. Now think about the foods people sometimes overlook when they're trying to eat healthy. Potatoes are a perfect example. They're inexpensive, filling, and provide nutrients including potassium, vitamin C, and fiber, particularly when the skin is eaten. The important distinction is how you prepare them. A baked or roasted potato is a very different nutritional choice from a heavily processed potato product loaded with added salt and saturated fat. In a Mediterranean-style eating pattern, the overall food quality and preparation matter far more than simply labeling one food good or bad. Then comes a food that can solve two problems at once: canned fish. Salmon, sardines, tuna and mackerel can provide protein, and some varieties are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Fresh seafood can be expensive, but shelf-stable canned options can make fish much easier to fit into a budget. The American Heart Association recommends regularly eating fish and seafood, particularly omega-3 rich varieties, as part of a heart-healthy eating pattern. But the real budget trick may be hiding in the canned food aisle. Canned tomatoes can bring flavor, vegetables and versatility to your meals without the short shelf life of fresh produce. They're useful in soups, sauces, stews, curries and pasta dishes. And because the Mediterranean approach is about an overall pattern rather than a collection of luxury ingredients, inexpensive pantry staples can absolutely have a place. The same goes for onions and garlic. They're cheap, they last, and they can turn basic ingredients into something that actually tastes satisfying. Both are also sources of prebiotic compounds that interact with the gut microbiome. Add them to beans, lentils, rice, soups, vegetables, or fish, and suddenly a budget meal doesn't feel like a compromise. Rice is another important reminder that healthy eating doesn't have to mean buying every trendy grain you see on social media. Brown rice offers more fiber than white rice, but white rice can still fit within an overall healthy eating pattern. The American Heart Association emphasizes whole grains while also encouraging people to build a sustainable dietary pattern that fits their preferences and circumstances. And don't overlook the freezer. Frozen berries can last for months instead of spoiling within days, making them a practical alternative to expensive fresh berries. Frozen spinach and kale can also make it easier to add leafy greens to soups, eggs, pasta dishes and other cooked meals without throwing away wilted produce at the end of the week. When you're budgeting, reducing food waste is just as important as finding the lowest sticker price. Then there's oatmeal. It's inexpensive, stores well, and provides whole grain carbohydrates and fiber. You can eat it for breakfast, combine it with yogurt and fruit, or use it in homemade snacks. And finally, there's corn, another affordable grain that can show up in everything from salads and bowls to tortillas and side dishes. The larger lesson is that healthy eating doesn't require a pantry filled with exotic ingredients. In fact, that's probably the biggest misconception about the Mediterranean diet. You don't need to recreate an expensive restaurant meal every night. You need a pattern you can actually maintain. Beans, lentils, oats, rice, potatoes, canned tomatoes, frozen vegetables, fruit, nuts, or peanut butter, and affordable fish can form the foundation of meals that are nutritious, flexible, and easier on your wallet. And because the Mediterranean diet is a pattern rather than a rigid prescription, it can also be adapted to different cultures, cuisines, and budgets. Of course, no single food is a magic cure, and eating one healthy ingredient doesn't automatically make an entire diet healthy. What matters is what your overall pattern looks like over time. If you're trying to improve your diet without spending a fortune, the smartest move may not be buying more expensive health foods. It may simply be getting more creative with the inexpensive foods you already have access to. And that might be the most encouraging part of all. Eating healthier doesn't have to mean eating fancier. Sometimes, the most powerful changes start with the cheapest items on the shelf. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Unix Media, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news. Thanks for watching.